procurement and supply management plans must go through me for Global Fund. I coordinate, and right now really it's just me and Jasmine. I coordinate technical assistance to country offices with a focus on capacity building and technical improvements based on my own monitoring and evaluation, which I forgot to write, and OFOG findings. I also reference BNAs.
BNAs?
Business needs analysis.
I learned this already.
Okay. And then Jasmine also works with countries on supply chain. We do this as a team. Then I help them while I'm there make desk guides, banners, things along those lines to help them actually, if we write a yeah, exactly. No, banners like we put them up in the warehouse that says you should be keeping everything should be on a pallet and you have to keep it 10 centimeters away from the floor, 30 centimeters away from the wall, blah, blah, blah. I help country programs write their own manuals, which I would like to stop doing actually, because if we could just write a larger manual, I think this process would be a lot more efficient. And we're seeing that too.
Yeah.
Or Mercy's team, I should say.
I don't.
And then same thing for Jasmine. There, so, oh wait, no, this goes here. And build capacity. Where did that go, Jess? In this here? Yeah. And then, okay, this one.
I've got another snap, which was guidance on implementing the policies and procedures, which kind of is,
yeah.
It's like the OFOG recommendation is often just do what's already written down.
Yeah. But that's kind of
how to do it.
Well, and and this is kind of something which I'm working with the team on, but it's kind of saying, rather than just saying implement what's in the policy, it's about breaking it down a little bit more. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of, some of this is really basic stuff, like have a folder where you put these things in.
I actually
Filing is such a hard concept for people to understand.
It's amazing.
What is?
Filing.
It was
like just record management in general.
Yeah, I did a training on archiving, and it was, you would have thought I was starting a revolution. I mean, they were just like, well, I'll be binders. That's a good idea. You mean we should keep our confirmations of receipt? And you're like, seriously?
With Zambia, one of our suggestions was just put an accountant in the warehouse to help file everything. So
You're clearly
keep your
ideas,
stuff
so
in.
someone did.
Well, this is just...
So I'm going to snap with what Sarah was saying, because we actually, for Lawson Systems specifically, we create desk guides, which is known as quick reference guides. We create process documents, we create business flows, we train use of the system. And so I think it overlaps a little bit of what, because she does it globally, and ideally whatever we do should be aligned with that.
Right.
But we do focus on very specific Lawson guides, and whether that's the case or not.
And then vice versa, if they are lost in live country, then I'll work with you guys if there's a supplemental QRG or desk guide that needs to happen. Much like Xavier.
Well, this is where we all spend our time.
Yeah.
I'm just
And
thinking that this is actually the biggest section of our time frame.
Yeah, and I mean, the reason we don't have a warehouse manual, a global warehouse manual, is because I have spent the past, at least operationally, because I have spent the last 2 years on a plane. And, it'd be great to coordinate with OFOG because I'm only one person, right? So if we're working on actually doing the how of the recommendations, here's how you would get to this recommendation, we could really unite forces, I guess.
Yeah.
But I wonder if this is an area to be careful of setting our expectations. How much can we sitting here in Washington really accomplish in this area? I mean, the burden for this really needs to be in the field. We need CRs who care, we need middle managers who are capable, and they need to do it themselves. It's ridiculous for her to spend her time saying, buy a box of folders.
Right.
I mean, that's absurd.
No, but I think the challenge, so one of the challenges here is that this is exactly what the field values.
Right. It doesn't count.
Why do they want to be part? Why do you want to be part of the PSI network? Is to have Sarah and Jasmine go out and tell us how to do this. Like that, the struggle that we have is to get get some CRs even to want to be part of the network. And
That's a
this
good
is,
point.
this is where they value our
Yeah,
work.
once they've met you and they feel like you're their friend,
Once you've helped them fix something,
yeah,
that's it.
they'll never let you go.
So this is actually, you know, when you talk about how do you build the relationships to be able to do all these other things, it's because of this. Like, people will listen to Sarah because she's been out there. People listen to my team because they've been there. This is the biggest, you know, we can't,
Because otherwise they just say, you don't get it.
you don't get it,
what
you
it's
don't know
like.
what we're, you don't know the conditions that we're working in,
Right.
you don't know the people that we're working with, you don't know how it is here. So you have, you know, this is critical, but it's also quite clearly taking up far more of our time, which prevents us from doing the things.
Well, we haven't finished the other two categories yet, so maybe
Well, let me throw mine up here and
Piece.
support. Mine's pretty tiny. You know, I really don't have a big support role. But I do get questions from the field, you know, how do I make a journal entry to fix this problem? Even from people in headquarters. Sometimes I get tech questions from Lawson. If I can answer it, I do, but usually I refer it to the Lawson team.
Yeah. But actually, I would put that next to ours, because now that you're here, we do
Yeah.
rely on you so much now for like, okay, so this is what they did in actuality. How do we make the, you know, what journal entry do they need to post to actually reflect that?
Yeah.
Well, actually, I guess that's true. I've never done kind of the accounting backstop.
I do,
Right.
yeah, I do
You're the
same
IT, you're the
thing too,
operations,
yeah.
I'm the accounting advice,
Yeah.
maybe that's the question.
And yeah,
But I have one more with support, just because that's kind of my role now, and it's somewhat different, I guess, because it's all, like, when we talk about support in Lawson, it's really like answering Spice Work tickets, and like, from a reactive perspective, so we, like, you know, we're waiting on like DC procurement, field warehouse, and the, you know, APMs and FAs to come with us with questions or problems, so it's somewhat different, you know, from that perspective, because they come with little things that bother them, and then we
Right.
discover these huge things that should bother them, but don't.
Pandora's box.
Exactly.
Well, I just want to just go back to the word that Marley used, which was reactive. I feel like a lot of this support is reactive. you
Oh, we're
know?
putting out fires.
Yeah.
We're not
we're
preventing
not,
fires,
we're
we're
not
putting out fires.
proactive.
And I just think that that's so key. I mean, how can we be more proactive? What are capacity building and support things that we can do that are proactive? I think it's a big question for moving forward.
Well, I think Charity had a good thought on that the other day. You know, she was saying that